Southeast Asia, in the city, buried in the jungle. Oh, and they had those New Orleans marching bands too, that the Africans of Asia knew about in advance. They showed them with their marching bands and their horns and their djembe, African drum, to show what people it was. And of course, the African talking drum speaks for itself, from the rock, in a city buried in the jungle for thousands and thousands of years. Oh, they told him, hey, you want a white woman? Then they told him, you look and you come from the gorilla. What effect did it have when little black girls were depicted as ugly at every turn, with pickaninny hair? When they came out with motion pictures and they depicted whiteness as beauty. In one popular movie, they made it real clear. They said, if you white, you all right. If you brown, you can stick around. But if you black, homeboy, get back. They not only delivered this message with images, but they delivered the message with words, showing you and telling you what beauty was. He handsome. Lonzo Tucker, ain't he handsome? They intentionally divided the various shades of black people against each other, and they took it to the top of your head, right to your hair. In the movies, one of y'all got good hair, the other one got nappy hair, and y'all sit up there like fools arguing with each other. Every time you saw a movie, a black was a slave, a nanny, or he was picking cotton looking stupid. That was the image that was given to all little children. The black female was taking care of the white woman's baby. What effect did this have when you saw your father at every turn carrying a bucket and a mop? This was the images that was put before your babies. What effect did this have on the mind? According to the laws of cause and effect, the signs were up all over the country. No colored hair, no niggas and dogs hair. Don't drink at this water fountain. Don't walk in this doorway. Don't eat at this lunch counter. Don't wash your clothes here. Don't do nothing white, because you are not worthy of standing next or being near the white ones. You're nothing. You're black and you're ugly. What effect did this have on the minds of your babies? When they first learned how to read and they saw this, what effect did they have? The European knew what to do. He knew how to destroy the mind and make a slave, because the mind tells the eyes and the ear. And the black man suffered because of the science, and so did the black woman. They went through physical and mental anguish all the days of their life. This is America. That's why they say the black man and woman of America was crucified. The stone speaks. The stone will tell you loud and clear if you can read the handwriting of the gods. They crucified the black man and woman of America in every way, externally and internally, and they used the science. Oh yeah, they focus. Oh, your own people sold you into slavery. They focus on that. Slave master bought you from a black man. They made the black man beat you, according to their document, so that you wouldn't be mad at the slave master. You'd be mad at the man with the whip. They had a specific mode of beating slaves. They would have two blacks hold them in the front, one black hold them in the back, and another black beat him under the instructions of the white man. The slave who is receiving this beating is angry at the blacks who are beating him. This is reborn. This is what they did intentionally to make you hate each other, and this is reborn, and it's depicted here, the effects. These are not two gladiators. This is brother against brother in stone. Notice they look exactly alike. This is what the gods of Asia were telling you. The effects were brother against brother, which is in our culture. The white woman spying on the Negroes, working. There they are, they snitching on each other, they got fights with each other. That's the effect of slavery. They gambled with each other, stole each other's money, tried to take each other's money, became enemies of each other. That's the effects of slavery. Stealing from each other, which is endemic in our culture. One brother would get mad, in stone here you see him solving the problem, killing you, cracking you on the head with a baseball bat in stone. The stone is screaming, telling you exactly the effects of slavery. Here we are in jail in Southeast Asia, in a city, in the jungle. We occupy the jails all over the country. We fill them up in stone. We started drinking, taking alcohol. These are the effects of slavery. And today you find us all over America doing what we have been doing for the last 400 years, begging for survival. This is the man who did it. He wears leopard skin from the Indus Valley because a leopard is the only animal that will attack a human being without provocation. The stone speaks without provocation. That's what this tells. This is a wall carving showing you everything you just saw. Or almost everything. Bearing mute witness to the history of that people. And the Buddha who would appear in one of the 50 towers at that time, at the end of the cycle, at the end of the age, to confirm life after death and divine intervention. This is the way of the Africans of Asia. They let you do it, and then they show you in a book of stone what you did. This is the way of the gods. At the entrance, they show you the righteous gods on the right, the wicked gods on the left, and in the center, the future Buddha who represents divine intervention. These are the demons. The previous illustration showed you the gods, and they're holding a serpent. This shows you both forces, the good and the evil, and divine intervention, the future Buddha appearing at a certain point in time. And this is the city of the future Buddha with 50 towers. Each tower has either 9 floors or 7 terraces. And in the Buddhist scripture, they tell you that it will appear. A stupa is a temple. And this temple that appears at the end of the cycle to confirm the teachings of the black people of Asia will give its applause. It will confirm and bear witness to that which you have just seen. Now, in closing, the word nega is a very profound word. It's represented by the serpent. And the serpent, or a snakes, can be found throughout this city, buried in the jungle. The serpent was the symbol of the black people of the world. Why? Because a serpent or snake changes its skin. That means it doesn't have a standard body that it stays in. It lives, it dies, and it comes back. When a serpent changes his skin, it's symbolic meaning. It means that he changes bodies, but he never dies. So that's why the serpent is the symbol. It's a symbol of immortality, of not dying, of changing bodies, but never actually dying physically. That's why the serpent is buried throughout this city, to show you that the Africans of Asia proved life after death. And we can find a clear definition that is well known in this book put out by the Theosophical Society, identifying various terms. Now, I'm going to read from this book. There you see it right on the screen. I'm going to tell you exactly what it means. Literally, serpent, the name in the Indian pantheon of the serpent or dragon spirits and the inhabitants of Patala, hell. These niggas are in hell. But Patala means antipodes and was the name given to America. Now, these are some niggas in hell in America, given to America by the ancients who knew and visited that continent before Europe ever heard of it. This term is probably akin to the Mexican nagals, and they have them as the gnats in Burma. And the esoteric term is represented by the dragon in China and Tibet. And it's various all countries all over the world. In South Central America, they're called niggas or nagal. It's known all over the world. It's widespread. It's associated with cosmic forces, with celestial gods, with the constellations, with astrology. The nigga, the serpent, is the identifying symbol of your ancestors because they never died and they had a way of proving it. All you have to do is look at the ancient ruins all over the world, the ancient temples, the ancient symbols of divinity from China to any place you go. Right here is the wisdom. They were identified with wisdom and with death and rebirth and resurrection. They were identified with the resurrection of the dead, of proving life after death. That's why the serpent changes its skin. And it was the symbol that your ancestors live, die, and come back. And you could go to North, Central, or South America. Before the conquistadors came, these were the pyramid temples with the serpent, the nigga outside now. Step pyramids, the same principles used all over the world, you will find all over the world, and the serpent is present in each one of them. The nigga. In all ancient traditions, in Asia, the nigga sits on a serpent, symbolized by the black man, the Africans of Asia, 7 cosmic forces protecting him. in Asia, and you will find the same principle teaching